So everyone, hi and welcome to another episode of the Cookiepod. I'm currently playing in this Quacky paradox community, and I'm here with Kaiser Friedlich and Mace Findu, who currently can't get his mic to work, I think. So Kaiser, how about you introduce yourself?
Hey, I'm Kaiser Friedlich. I'm currently the host and game master from the campaign. I'm playing Muscovy.
Alright.
And yeah.
Yeah, and I'm your neighbor playing Sweden,
Yeah.
and Mace Findu used to play Bohemia. I think he died miserably this session, so he's likely going to take over Timurids for the upcoming
Yep.
one. But yeah, I figured we'd start with the maybe least interesting region in Africa, though we do have some nifty things going on here. I think we had a player in Kilva who seems to have essentially fed and released and play as Butua, which I think is the right strat. Playing as Kilva, since your IDs are sort of terrible, and Butua has really strong IDs, especially for the region. Have you seen this strat before, Kaiser?
No, actually not. I mean, I usually don't see any African players below Ethiopia.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I mean, I once seen a pretty strong Kilva with a good income, but yeah, he lacked the national ideas afterwards. So I guess it's fine to go Butua, but he has a slow growth at the moment, and if he's not careful, and this doesn't do any Diplo, maybe Mamlux is gonna be a problem for him.
Yeah, I mean, looking at this right now, I think it's the right strat, but I mean, I'm playing with one of my friends in E4. He has worked out that essentially mastered the way to release and play Butua. He has a list of 20 steps to do to maximize it, and from the looks of it, looking at this nation, I don't think this player is very experienced. I think this was Lord Loma, right?
Yeah.
Doing this strategy, for example, you really want to increase your admin tech as Kilva before you release, since Butua starts with IDs invested if you have a high enough admin tech. If you are at admin tech 7, you start with one ID set complete and the second started, and so on. So
but I'm not sure if he wants that, right?
I mean, it's still free IDs and you need to catch up. I also think, if I remember correctly, Butua starts... There's a preset selection of IDs for each country when you release and play them.
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, Butua has pretty okay ones. I'm not sure if it's religious defensive or something like that, so it's not too bad. It might even be eco defensive.
Can you actually check his gold mines and see if he's doing okay there? He's 70.
He's devved this 11 times, but he hasn't devved it to...
And 50 autonomy on the... Oh. 60... Wait. He did dev push the institution somewhere.
Yeah, he's dev pushed the institution here, but
with admin power.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what you have in Access, I guess it's fine, but it seems a little bit weird that he hasn't used, at least pushed his gold mines to 10, 12 dip. But, oh well. I mean, he's still doing okay income-wise. He has 16. Inflation is always skyrocketing with his new armor, but he can run all 3 advisors. He's focusing admin despite having with admin. This nation looks a little bit weird to me. It's not it's horrible. It has some dev. He's free. He can start expanding up into Kilva. Oh, he's actually still a vassal of Kilva. He hasn't done the Independence War yet. Then I don't know why he didn't feed all his provinces to Butua before releasing and playing either. Oh well. I mean,
is he gonna continue religious ideas?
I don't know. Yeah, he has invested a point in it, so I guess so. Yeah. I would.
Why? I don't get it.
I mean, I guess it's sort of awkward. I mean, I don't think religious ideas are terrible if you're expanding into AI, and he has a lot of AI. His closest player is Mamluks, so assuming that Mamluks doesn't disturb him and he just gets to blob freely in West Africa and here is sort of decent. He might also try to flip to Ibadi. I would guess that's the best religion in the region. Over staying fetishes, so it's not terrible. I would have liked to see other things, but I mean, there are worse ideas.
But he should watch out for Venice also, because Venice is getting through the Suez Canal.
Oh yeah,
And since till 1500 expansion is blocked in Asia and India, Venice's only option is like Madagascar and.
Oh yeah.
Cuba.
I mean, you're allowed to colonize into Asia, right?
No.
Oh, you're not allowed to colonize either.
No.
Okay. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, then I think I think Batua is in some trouble. Like the nation doesn't look terrible, but it's not set up to deal with like Venice or Mamluks coming down here.
Yep.
Beyond that, like I think it has a victory card located fairly.
And
Mombasa.
Yeah, Mombasa. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. The
Somewhere
areas.
around there.
Yeah, so it has a victory card, which might not actually be good for it, considering that just makes it more attractive to attack. Maybe it can start.
Yeah.
Maybe it can strike like a deal where it leaves the victory cards to Venice or Mamluks in exchange for being left alive. I don't know.
Then Europe is gonna get a victory card.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, but you know, what do you do? I don't think Batua is in a fighting shape against those. It takes like, even if you do this strat optimally, which I don't think it was done here, it takes a while to get going when you release and play as Batua. So he's going to be vulnerable and need to be use diplomat.
That's the how he does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say about Batua?
Nope.
Okay, should we jump to Songhai then?
Yeah.
So looking at Songhai, we have. I mean, he's grown like a fair bit, nothing like amazing, but he spent a lot of mana developing feudalists, which I think is more important than growing. So I'm aboard with that.
So England didn't help him there, right? It's a shame.
Uh,
Or Morocco could have helped him also. Like,
yeah, I'm not sure. He's not receiving knowledge share.
Morocco should have been in range, right? It's like only one Zeta.
We can check.
Uh,
Oh, okay. So Morocco is currently getting Renaissance from France.
Yeah,
so he might be able to jump it to Songhai afterwards. Oh, you mean feudalism?
Yeah, feudalism and inside of the game. And if you can share it now, he wasn't into book 2 from the game start, but he could have snagged through there and then gotten it from Morocco.
Yeah, I know, but why would Morocco give it to Songhai?
Because maybe, it's like Morocco still is a different story, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
he's doing okay, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing really bad on. I mean, I didn't expect his ideas to be this bad, so I don't know if he's doing okay.
Can you check good map mode to see the gold mines?
I think he has one, does he? No, not at all.
Okay. Yeah, he needs to get those.
Yeah, I mean, his expansion is a bit awkward. Like, he should ideally go for the west, since that's the gold mines, the good goods, and also lets him like deal with Portugal or Castile for a knowledge share instead of just Morocco. So I think his expansion path is a little bit weird, and he doesn't have the economy. He doesn't have the economy to support. Oh my God, he has 2,000 in loans.
Wait, how did that happen?
Yeah, he's just been fighting AI. Okay.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's actually at the point where he should just.
That's the problem.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to have to bankrupt.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting like 300 or 400 gold maybe per AI. Maybe he can do it.
I mean, I don't think it's worth trying to avoid bankruptcy at this point. He's paying like half his income in interest.
Can you check his tech?
Yeah, he's at 225, so.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe he should accidentally die and get replaced to India. Like
Yeah, like I don't know. It was. I like the fact that he developed the institution right away. If he didn't get it from Morocco, but this is like I don't know why he's this much in depth and has in this far behind in tech. Like, if
Mr. Dave, if you listen to this podcast and want to change out nation, talk to me.
I don't think it's as bad as you make it out to be.
It's really bad. He needs to go bankrupt, and his mana is gonna be at -100. And
yeah, but I mean, he doesn't have any mana right now, so he doesn't lose much.
Yeah, but still, he's not. He's
I mean, it's agony, but I think he should just like go bankrupt into Mosti or something, win that war, core the shit, and then just bankrupt. And he can even use the money to run advisors until he bankrupts. I don't know. Yeah, the country is a bit messy. I don't think it's like unsalvageable, but I think it's like normally you play catch up with Songhai, and I think he's actually not caught up at all in like 30 years. So he still is like pretty much as far behind as he was at the start, comparatively.
He didn't take up admin or Diplo at all.
No, I think that makes sort of sense. Like normally you.
Yeah, okay. Normally you wanna double or triple tech maybe with like.
I mean, what I do as Songhai is I try to stay current on Miltech so I can defend from Morocco and stuff, and then I just like fall behind on admin and dip to develop the institutions if I don't get them shared, and then I just you can just double click when you have the behind of time penalty high. It will, if you click on it multiple times in a row, it applies to every tech up, so you can like skyrocket the back in shape. So that might be what he's going for, but it still doesn't look too bad.
Nah, he's not going for it since he needs to go bankrupt and he hasn't any mana saved up. But I mean, I wish him good luck on the nation if he wanna continue. But
I mean, I don't think this is as bad as you make it out to be. I think it's bad, but if he's like left alone for like if Morocco doesn't kill him in like 50 years, in the next 50 years, I think he could be totally fine.
Yeah, but Morocco is gonna kill him though.
Yeah, probably. I don't know what the Morocco guy is thinking, you know. But yeah, should we jump up to the Morocco guy, or do you want to flame Songhai some more?
No, I'm fine with Songhai. Like,
I mean, he essentially just like lives on the hopes of Morocco not killing him. He has nothing to.
Yeah.
And Morocco. I mean, Morocco has had like a really impressive last session. It actually won a war against Castile and Portugal.
Yep.
Like
I'm not sure about Portugal's involvement.
Portugal was mainly, I think, mainly going to like block the strait and stuff like that. So Morocco wouldn't get past. I don't think they actually contributed to any troops, but it's still, I think, really, really impressive. Like France did attack Castile to aid Spain somehow, but like that should actually mostly help Spain win the war against Morocco, since giving up land to France will give Spain revanchism and enable him to take even more loans. So it doesn't actually like help Morocco win the war. So the fact that they did, I don't know how, because like Castile has a better starting ruler. He has a bunch of morale events at the start. I mean, Morocco does have like the defensive Mountain Fort Fest, which is really good. He also has Muslim pips, which helps a little bit, but still, I think he played it really, really well to win this war, and I'm quite impressed.
Unfortunately, I didn't have any vision on any battles, but I saw Fez getting sieged at some point, and then he won the battle on Fez. So
yeah, exactly.
Pretty good job. I mean, I don't know if it was poor reinforcement from Castile or just insane rolls, but yeah, the war ended with like the two guys staring at each other beside from the coast. And did you actually catch Morocco seized opening? Did you go for Granada March?
No, I don't think Morocco went for Granada. Castile got Granada.
Because normally that's better.
Going for Granada?
Yeah, you have like extra forts, right?
Yeah, and but I guess. But you also like get Castile a free war goal. But yeah, you could.
I'm pretty sure he can't get to 50 if you delete one fort or so.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, you could. I think you could just. Yeah, you could probably at least vassalize Granada. But admittedly, like what Morocco won off here was that he just held. I think he must have won like multiple battles on Fest, since he got like 80 war score from just holding the war goal and winning like a bunch of battles on Fest. So he just stabbed it out for 10 years. And I mean, looking at the state now, like the nation looks really, really good actually.
Yeah, I mean,
he stabbed the gold mine some. He's doing well. I assume that he had to bankrupt after the war, considering Castile state. And I mean, he's like a little bit behind, but he has a lot of mill pulled up. So if he like gets admin to Tech 5, he'll be able to pretty much push like half an ID group. So he's like a little bit behind on admin and techs, on like admin tech and IDs. But considering Castile state, I don't think that's much of a problem. I mean, if we look at Castile in the same, since that's probably his main enemy, like Castile bankrupted and took for some reason 16 corruption. I think it was 18 at one point. So Castile to me is like a dead nation, even more so than Songhai.
Like Castile, I mean, he's gonna play Session 2, hopefully, but I mean, it gets close to nation wounding if you go above 10 corruption and the bankruptcy war, I believe.
I mean, it's mostly like the fact. I mean, I've played with players who come back from like 40, 45 corruption, but it's just that normally it's not like, even if you win the war, it's not worth the corruption. That's sort of the point. Like, so there has to be like very specific niche scenarios where the war is like do or die, which this wasn't. He could lose the war against Morocco and like be in a better spot than he is right now.
And it's not like Castile and Morocco can't coexist. Like, and for Castile, the North Africa isn't even that cool as land. I mean, I guess all of West Africa and North Africa is cool for Castile, but he's in such a weak position right now.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to kill Morocco as Castile, but maybe not like if you have France in the back that's free to do it. So, I mean, ideally, like, it should go way easier for Castile. He shouldn't be as vulnerable when he does this, but I think Morocco played really, really well.
Yeah. It looks like Morocco could win a defensive war against Castile. They're in that sort of position.
Okay, yes, I see. Oh yeah, Jones, you can be here watching the stream, no problem. And welcome aboard, Mace. This is our Bohemia player. Beyond that, I think, like, in the immediate sense for Morocco, the biggest issue is that like, he can probably beat Castile, if not right now in an offensive war. He will in due time. Problem is that it's essentially down to what France decides to give him, since France is absurdly strong. So, like, I guess he hopes to get at least the provinces for Andalusia, so he can upgrade his ideas a fair bit. They're really nice.
He can't really afford to snake offensively against France into Castile, right? And even if he gets Andalusia and France is okay with it, he can just kill it. Because right now I don't see any coalition against France, since the HV is so weak. A lot of players died there. Hungary, Bohemia are dead. Yeah.
There's a huge problem.
And Morocco are... Like, Morocco can catch up, but he needs to be...
undisturbed.
Yeah, and France needs to be friendly to him.
Yeah, I mean, right now they are allied, so I would actually imagine, like, if I was France, I would be maybe, like, not care too much about Morocco forming Andalusia, so I would, like, let him have some parts of the south, or maybe just, like, form Andalusia and then give the provinces to France or something. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Like, Morocco could also, I mean, assume that France doesn't want to invest heavily into navy. Morocco could at worst hold the strait probably, and he can still eat Tunis, he can eat Songhai. So I think he's in like a decent spot, unless like Mamluks also become hostile. And if Mamluks wanted to be hostile, they would have gone into Tunis already, I think. So I think Morocco has a fairly decent game. We talked some about it, but I guess let's go over to Castile. Yeah, I mean, what's to say?
It's a very poorly executed death war against Morocco.
Yeah,
like, he got the pre-work pretty good, I guess. Not killing the air, getting Crusade, getting all kinds of modifiers, and then in Morocco. But I'm pretty sure he failed to properly manage his combat stacks, since he failed all the battles. Like, and he even got I know he got the Iberian betting afterwards, but yeah, he I don't know. He should have maybe offered the white piece, or like offered the North African province before he went into corruption.
Yeah, I mean, especially like since he lost the provinces to France, he should have gotten some revanchism and been able to increase his loan cap further. So the corruption is really, really weird to me. But I mean, he went for it. Like, as you said, the silver lining is that he got the Iberian wedding. But beyond that, I mean, this nation looks horrible. He has 16 corruption. He has like shit ton of autonomy almost everywhere, like, and France is already past the like defensive border into Iberia. This unless like he somehow makes France not want to kill him, which I have no idea why France wouldn't want to. Like, this nation is just doomed.
Yeah, once again, as a GM, Castile, if you want to replace, leave me a message.
Yeah, Mace, do you have anything you want to say about Castile?
But it's already been said, really. They're not in. I don't really see them coming back because France, if they want to, they could probably eat them.
Yeah. And I don't really see a reason for France not eating them at the moment. Beyond that, let's jump over to Portugal, or like former Portugal, now Habib.
Yeah.
So I mean, apparently this guy, like Gassior, has said that he just wants to play some Exodus strat. That, I mean, I'm not going to tell him. He's talked some to me about what he wants to do, but I'm not going to spoil it all. But apparently he wants to be fairly passive in the game, so we'll see if that's true. Right off the bat, I'm not sure like how much I like him releasing this early. I think it's kind of nice as Portugal to, since you have the age bonus, you can take exploration and expansion and just colonize all of like North America essentially,
Yeah,
and like
you can, yeah.
just reroll for like fur and cotton, especially cotton since gives dev cost in every province, and you get the good dev cost and then release and play as that nation. But I mean, this does allow him to choose his ID groups by himself instead of the AI doing so, and like not have the AI choose bad reforms, stuff like that. So there's some RNG involved if you leave it up to the AI, but I would have preferred to see him stick to Portugal a little bit longer. However, looking at the nation, I mean, he's fairly recently. I mean, he didn't get Renaissance either first. I don't know. He's fairly like recently released, but he's doing okay-ish tech-wise. He has Miltech 5, but he's only fighting natives, so it doesn't matter. 200 dev, for some reason above 100 overextension, though he won't be for long. The nation looks a little bit messy, but I think it's going to be fine. It's like still in a spot where it can easily gobble up Mexico, and that's all that's important for it right now, really.
Like every time I saw an Exodus nation, the nation got very stable and very powerful in the end.
Yeah.
So if England wants to do any, I don't know, England should maybe kill him right now, because like it's really nice to have Mexico and North America as England. And so far, like, I mean, there's no other colonizer. England has no Castile or normal Portugal, or like even like Venice is going Asia. He's not going to America. So England having all of America potentially would be pretty nice, I guess.
Yeah.
And if he wants that, he needs to kill it now.
Yeah. I mean, the problem is that right now England can't even reach or see Mexico.
Yeah, but you can still do it if Habibi, like in 20 years, he's still able to kill him.
Yeah, and I mean,
tech advantage.
Yeah, admittedly, it does seem like Portugal and England have struck some kind of a deal, since the Azores belong to England right now. So I would imagine there is some deal going on here. Like, the point is that if you let a colonial nation or an Exodus nation live like this, like and grow to a stable point, like your colonies are always under threat as England, as you can't really defend them. Like, the colonial nations can take a lot of war score against other nations in America.
He just can't control it anymore. If 50 years or 100 years pass, Kaiser can do whatever he wants in America.
Yeah, exactly. So like, if England strikes a deal here, which he seems to have done, he's just like under the threat of Habibi, which I think is like I love you or loved one in Arabic, but breaking it at any point and just chewing it all up. So I'm not a huge fan of England's Ziplo in that regard, but let's see if it works out, and also let's see what Habibi ends up doing. I assume he's forming Texas and dabbing a bunch, but beyond that I'm not going to spoil anything. Mace, what do you think about Habibi?
Looks pretty strong. Definitely, I reckon his plan will be to get control over the rest of the natives in Mexico. So a lot of gold there.
Yeah, definitely.
He'll be able to get. And I reckon if he gets that, he'll be pretty strong in the New World.
Yeah, indeed.
So, yeah.
I mean, he could also reroll like the native provinces for more gold, same as you can do for cotton and fur. It's like if you have, it's something I like to do if I'm like at, for example, if I would Exodus and I'm at state cap or stuff, I don't need to expand like right now. I just let the colonies grow to 400 pop, and if it turns out it's a bad good, I just abandon it and then resend the colonies until I get a good roll on the goods. If you do that, combined with Texas 10% dev cost, you can skyrocket your nation and make it incredibly strong. So I mean, I would expect, if like assuming that it's left alone, I would expect like this nation to be one of the strongest in the world in like 200 years or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, but let's move on. So we have let's talk about England first, actually, since we already touched on them.
Yeah, so
I mean, England, I think he got a fairly solid deal with France going. He got to keep the English Channel provinces, which are the ones that actually matter to him, and gave away the other ones. I think this is like a fairly fair deal for most parties. He has vassalite Scotland. He's not contested Sweden for Denmark, but he's gone for, which kind of makes sense since he's going exploration first. I normally don't like exploration first. I think because you can't reach things with it, but since he actually got the Azores from Portugal, it might actually turn out to be more useful. Beyond that, it looks like a fairly standard England, like a naval or like not battling for mainland England, essentially. What do you think about England? Let's go with Mace. What do you think?
Yeah, it's pretty standard. They've up against a really strong France to the south and Burgundy, so they'll have to keep that diplo going, basically, until they basically all game, because I don't see France going away.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a pretty standard position, as you said.
Yeah, I mean, even if they like go hostile with France, like France can occupy these provinces, but they can't really do much with them beyond that, I think. Like, unless France builds up a fleet, or Burgundy, they're not actually going to get over to the English mainland, so it's like a war right now between England and France would just hurt both parties. England gets occupied, like these 4 or 5 provinces, and France gets blockaded, and no one actually wins, I think. So it's still like sort of safe for England, unless France does like a sea lion, like a surprise landing over in England somewhere. Kaiser, what do you think about England's position?
Yeah, like as you said, England can be a lot stronger if he goes like quality first and then explore. And with quality, he could contest Lübeck. He can keep all his scores in France, yeah, like be in a stronger position overall, because having a foot in Lübeck is basically free money, and he can protect it very well.
Yeah.
But yeah, right now he is. I mean, I guess it's a very weak England for now. Even like, especially with his deal with Kaiser. His deal with France and Burgundy is fine, I guess. He can't really balance the conflict. Like, the good thing, France doesn't want to kill Burgundy, since he can eat all of Iberia right now. So it's not really. He's not really responsible for balancing the France-Burgundy conflict. Yeah, I mean, hopefully he does well colonizing America, and Yeah, but he should think about getting a military idea set for next.
I mean, I sort of like, if I think it's sort of fine to just like be fairly like greedy and passive as England and like skip military as first, but if so, I think economic does more for him than exploration normally. So I'm not a huge fan of this. Like if you're not going to fight France or like Sweden or Lübeck, I think you can go like economic into exploration instead of going exploration first, as you don't reach many things right now. But I mean, what I would expect England to do is that he'll get like some parts of North America, probably whatever Habibi lets him have. And since he's going to explore first, I would guess that he's going to actually rush for Asia, because like having trade companies in like Indonesia and Asia, it's like both gives him tremendous growth. It's like very little competition, and it's like colonial nations are nice, but you get a lot more money, manpower, and force limit from even manpower, despite that being quite little from trade companies. So I think that's his plan. But if so, I wonder why he haven't colonized why he isn't colonizing Tenerife right now. So I don't know. Yeah, it's a little bit weird. I still think the nation is like fine, but it could have been even better in this position.
Yeah.
Anything else you guys want to say about England?
No, not really.
All
Let's
right.
see how it does session 2.
Yeah, and then we look further to pretty much, I guess, maybe the strongest or second strongest nation in the game, France. So France had like a really, well, free game, I would say. He got a deal with England, which I think is sort of fair. Some Englands give up all provinces to France. I think that's unnecessary. You don't need to do that. Burgundy decided to be friendly with him, and so I mean, normally that would leave like France sort of locked in, but in this case, Castile essentially lost a war against Morocco, so France could just swoop in and take the bordering fort, which I think sets him up to just eat up all of Iberia, and a France with like all of Iberia is already pretty much a monster. Yeah, what do you think about France, Kaiser?
Yeah, I checked his buildings, like a part of his good diplomacy. He's very built up, like has almost all churches built, which is fine as France, right? Yeah, he's pretty good to go. Like it doesn't have any manpower buildings yet, but like he has a good income, which he can spend on like little merc stacks, and he can search conflict. Like as I said, there's no potential collision against him, and he can just force his way into Iberia and then get Burgundy, I believe, because if Burgundy doesn't like speed up his expansion into HRE, he's gonna be irrelevant. And even with the deal with England, like England Burgundy against France, it's not gonna work out.
Yeah, I mean England right now won't really do much in an actual conflict,
Yeah,
since we went
even
exploration
like 40
first.
years, like even 40 years, if France has all of Iberia, he's just gonna have like, I don't know, he can spend his money to build every building he wants and then just snowball over Burgundy, I believe.
Yeah. Mace, what do you think France will be up to next?
I reckon the most sensible thing is to go after Iberia. He's got a very, very stable front to the east. He's got mountainous forts against Milan and Burgundy against the rest of the HRE.
Yeah.
And Castile is looking very weak, so that'll be the obvious thing to do.
Yeah. I mean, what I would expect is just show up Castile, and then I would personally, I'm not like right now these guys are obviously friendly with each other even without an in-game alliance, or they would be fighting long ago, but I would expect France to show up Castile and Aragon. He has the reconquest from Catalonia as well if AE becomes an issue, and then he'll just kill Burgundy before Burgundy has the time to expand much into the HRE. But we'll see. I think Sphinx is sort of scared about the player on Burgundy, which is Jones, who is like famous for being quite strong in wars. And I also think, I have heard, I'm not sure that's true, that he's really backstabby. So I would if I was Sphinx, I would use my advantage and kill him before it's too late. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, we can check Burgundy right now, but you need actually, you need to scroll to find Burgundy in the fucking overall strength list. Like, he's very, 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 very weak. He's
Yeah, I
in no
mean,
position.
he does have his PUs as well, which doesn't count on that, but he's still way weaker than France right now.
I believe they do count in Skanderberg.
Do they?
According to their strength, like not the 100% force limit from them, but I mean, I'm not sure how they count.
I don't think the actual like vassal power, like the nation itself, counts. But
yeah, but true. But like,
so that's like another 21 regiments, but still, yeah.
But even if he doubles his income and force limit, like, how is he doing on annexing them? Like, how does it go?
I mean, he hasn't started to annex them. I don't think he can yet. Isn't it 50 years to integrate them? Yeah. So
it's 94. Yeah.
Yeah, 94.
But he's not really conquering. Like, or check his AE with like HEV to see how much he conquered.
Yeah, he has like 3 provinces. He hasn't conquered anything else beyond that.
Yeah, that's a big yikes, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think he's going to I think this is like a preparation for essentially dismantling all of the HRE. Is what I expect. Like trying to annex him together with maybe Hamburg or Switz or whoever. Try to annex like pretty much all of the HRE miners remaining, so he doesn't have to worry about the coalition at all. But it's still a really slow start. I also think going economic first, even if you're not going to expand much, is pretty worrisome, or like pretty weird with like a 3 admin and 5 mil ruler. I mean, he didn't have that when he started, I think. He had like the regular one, but still I would only do that if I had like a terrible mil ruler. Otherwise I would go quantity first if I was going to greed it up. So, I don't know. I think this Burgundy could be a lot stronger. And I think it like relies on France leaving it alone for a very long time to actually come back or be like relevant force.
A really try-hard France player would take his chances right now with Burgundy before he integrates his PUs. And even if if he spends like 30-40 years on Burgundy, Castile is not going anywhere. Like, Castile is in such a bad position, he's not gonna catch up in 30-40 years.
No, but I figure like if he actually goes for Burgundy right now, Castile would probably join that, and maybe like some other nations, and it could actually turn like sort of messy for France. So it's not like Burgundy. If you like take like France, if you take one war to just kill off Iberia in like 4 years, and then you have that front entirely free, you might even be able to like invite Morocco in to help you against Burgundy in exchange for getting some of Iberia, and then you can just kill Burgundy with being completely safe.
That would be better, yeah. But I don't think he's gonna do it, since he's... I mean, I never played with Sphinx before, I believe, but I mean, he should do it. Let's see if he does it in session 2.
I mean, like, if it wasn't Jones on Burgundy, I would like say 100% sure that Sphinx would kill him. I think Sphinx is like usually when I played him, he's like somewhat aggressive, and he's not like he doesn't feel the need to uphold deals if they don't benefit him. And not that he stabs all the time or anything, but I think he's stabbed a few times. So I would expect him to kill Burgundy normally, but I'm not sure if he's just scared about Jones, because Jones is a very strong player, from what I've heard.
I mean, it looks like a very easy war for him too, for France, because Burgundy doesn't have any defensive forts. I mean, his forts are useless in terms of France doesn't need to siege him. Like, he sieges Picardy and the capital. Did he actually delete his capital fort?
Does Burgundy start with the capital fort?
No, he doesn't. Okay, so but there's one in Auxerrois, I believe. Like, Burgundy has a fort which protects his capital at game start, and now it's gone.
Yeah.
But yeah, he can basically occupy all the free provinces and then sit there and wait. He doesn't need to have a 1-1 battle at all.
Yeah.
Like, it's such an easy war. But yeah, let's see what happens in session 2.
I definitely think it's the right call, and I don't think I'm hesitant about if it will happen or not. And I think, like, in the end, like, France will end up regretting it. if he doesn't, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, he won't have any friends left, right? And friends are somewhat useful. And
yeah. Anyways, let's go to. I think let's do Italy first. Milan. Let's go let's go with Pope. Actually, we'll go downwards and upwards. So Pope right now is, I think, is allied to France, right? Yep, and Burgundy. Okay, so that's their little hug box. And he's looking, yes, 156 dev. He's about to shoot up Naples. He's doing okay-ish on IDs and tech. Like, it's pretty awkward when you're starting ruler as Pope, but he seems to have gotten a fairly decent one to follow up the initial one. So yeah, I think he looks pretty much as I'd expect. He's like reserved most of Italy for himself, taking Roman and Lucas. So I quite like Pope right now. Mace, what do you think about the Pope, man?
Yeah, he's doing okay. He should take Naples. What's the threshold for forming Italy?
Yeah, you can't form anything as Pope, sadly.
All right. That's what I expect him to do. He's looking decently strong. Might push out into Milan or Venice. Would be his 50-year plan, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I think it's weird that he isn't running like any advisors. His income is quite good. So that's like sort of strange, and he doesn't use like his estates. So I think the internal management of the nation could be better, but I think he's expanded like once he shows up Naples, he's expanded fairly well for his initial 30 years, and he seems to have a strong diplomatic web set up. Anything you want to add, Kaiser?
No, not really. Like besides, he can improve his macro gaming, or nation building. Like no advisors is a bit oof. Yeah, he needs to get his ideas fleshed out. And sort of get a way to kill Milan first, because Venice is not gonna be that accessible. And Milan, he can isolate Milan, I believe. Like maybe Switzerland and the Pope can sandwich him, and France and Burgundy can say, "Oh, we're not gonna get involved," and that's his way to expand.
Yeah, I mean,
or he can also go to Tunis, I guess, but he's not doing any. Like he needs to swoop into Aragon also. Like he needs to get Sicily and Corsica.
Yeah, he can do like a lot of work with France. Like he can both split Milan with France and like take some parts of Aragon as France expands into Iberia.
Yeah,
so I think
wouldn't do that. I wouldn't split Milan with France because that's really dangerous.
I mean, honestly, if no coalition is forming against France, what choice do you have?
I mean, sure. I mean, if France approaches you and says, "Hey, let's split Milan," you can still say no and say, "Oh no, I'm gonna protect Milan. Fuck off." And then around his back, you can go to Switzerland and say, "Oh, let's split Milan," and then be very much quick about it. And Switzerland should cut France off, because the miners, the miners in the HRE or like in Germany, need to think about how to contain France.
Yeah, but the problem is, unless like Burgundy decides to help them, I don't think they can. So if you try to mess with France as like papal Swiss, you just die. Right now.
Yeah, of course, yeah, but I mean, Burgundy will protect any miners France is gonna kill, right? I mean,
is Burgundy with like zero growth and economic ideas going to help them against France? I mean
he needs to be put a strong diplomatic game on. Like Burgundy needs to say, "I'm gonna protect everyone. If you're gonna kill anyone, France." If he does it in the end, it doesn't matter. But France should have reasons to not into Italy. If France kills Iberia and Italy, he's the only thing which could stop France then is France itself with bad nation management. But
yeah, I mean it's really awkward. But I guess that like Burgundy is friendly with France, and like has gone for a build where he can't really do anything about France, makes it like really awkward to deal with him. But yeah, we'll see what happens. About Milan, what do you think he should do?
That's a different story. Like Milan should. I mean, I know the player. I mean, I know the Pope Milan in Switzerland. Pretty good. I know that Milan. I mean, the player usually does his Diplo, right? He knows how to Diplo, but he's in such a bad position right now. It's such a bad diplomatic position.
Yeah.
His best chance would be to get a diplomatic deal with all neighbors and get a 1v1 against Pope.
Yeah.
Because that's his best shot. Milan isn't actually terrible at fighting. He's gone Pluto first, which is a bit awkward, I guess, but doesn't use his estates either. But he can go for a 1v1 against Pope.
Yeah, I mean, he has a strict ruler, and while I think plutocratic is pretty horrible, it's just like a worse defensive to me. It does giving him some like early punch, so yeah, I agree. If he could get like a 1v1 going with the Pope, that would be the ideal. But like as you said, Pope is in a much better diplomatic position. Like Milan is just likely to get someone in the back if he tries to fight them, and if he doesn't like fight someone, he's just going to become irrelevant quite soon. So yeah, it's a really nasty spot. Mace, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Nothing that's already been said, really.
Yeah. Okay, let's go to the next HRE minor, I guess, which is Switzerland. I mean, Switzerland hasn't like grown a whole lot, but it's looking pretty decent. Like it's doing well in tech and IDs. It's has a lot of mana going. I'm not like it feels like it could have grown more, but it's been limited by AE, I guess. We're not that far into the game.
Yeah, I actually know a small detail about this expansion. Like the Venice player cucked him, basically. If you check the diplomatic map mode on Venice, you will see why. He's protecting like OPMs from Switzerland.
Okay.
Like literally the best expansion race for Switzerland got blocked by Venice.
But I mean, it's still just like they are all free cities, so the Pope would the AI Austria would protect them anyways. So it's like
not if you have a claim, right?
No, if they are free cities, the Pope always protects them. So I don't think it's actually the Emperor always protects them if they have a claim. So it's really awkward.
Yeah, okay, but I mean, I guess the player talked to me and he was. I guess he didn't think about that. I for once don't play a lot of HV either. So, but yeah, like Austria surviving so long is a bit interesting to see. But yeah. I guess that was because of a lot of PvP action inside the HV, and everyone is looking for strong AI alliances.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope next session the HV is gonna get dismantled actually. Like all the HV miners working together to dismantle the HV. And then split up borders, then eat, don't care about AE. And then we have a strong Germany in like session 4. Which everyone needs to do Diplo with, because Diplo is the most fun part, right?
Yeah. I think I think it's going to happen next session. I would expect that's what Burgundy is prepping for. I think if Jones was going to sit around doing nothing for another session, I don't know. Like he's supposed to be a strong player, so I don't expect him to do that. But looking at it right now, I feel like when I've looked at nations, people are like forgetting to run Improved Relations Advisor and like putting on the Improved Relations trade policy. Yes, HRE miners, so that's like limiting them a lot in AE wise. So that I think that's like the reason why Switzerland has to expand it more. But I mean, he's grown to like twice his size. He's doing fine on tech IDs. His income is acceptable. He's like, assuming that he gets to eat some, he's in a good spot.
Yeah, I believe also he's getting Tyrol. I like the Tyrol state from Austria in the Diplo deal.
Is he from
and-
Venice though?
Say again?
Is he? If Venice is hostile, I don't know. Let's.
I mean, Venice is sort of. I mean, I don't know about Venice being super hostile. I believe it was only like a friendly patting on the head, like, "Oh, you stay small while I eat hungry." But they are eating up Austria together, I believe, and
Okay.
they are talking about the borders, I believe.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to go and take a quick piss, but then you guys can talk about Venice, Hungary, and Bohemia, and Mace can tell us what went on. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Okay, Mace. I mean, we can't look into the nation right now, right? Because we don't have control over it.
Yep.
But what do you think about Venice so far? Like his ideas or expansion?
Well, I'm not sure about his ideas, but his expansion very looks like he's also bracing for the dismantling the HRE and also going into Austria. So it's just a waiting game for him while he gobbles up Hungary.
I mean, I'm not sure about dismantling the HRE for Venice because, like, he's gone exploration ideas and he's getting promises from Mamluks to hop into Asia. And I think, like, going expo first and killing a player on the side is like pretty amazing, I guess. But I mean, he got an Ottoman deal going, right? He talked to Ottoman, let's kill Hungary, and it was just a pushover. But still, like, I don't know how big of a pimp daddy Ottoman is towards Venice, because he can just. I don't know how aggressive he's gonna be against AI right now, because I mean, Poland is sort of close. I mean, the Slovakia area is definitely one of the biggest, one of the greatest states ever. Like gold mine, defensive forts, and whatever. Like the one getting, I'm not sure the state is gonna go towards one owner in a diplomatic deal. I'm pretty sure they are gonna fight about it in some way. But yeah, as long as Ottoman protects Venice, I believe Venice is doing great. Nobody can touch him, basically.
Yeah, I am back, by the way. I was just listening towards the last argument. Yeah, and I think like this is obviously very beneficial to Venice, the current state. Like getting a deal with Mamluks where you can go through the Suez, getting Hungary and Bohemia killed while
going Explo, like what the fuck, and you're hungry.
Yeah, I think this is terrible going Explo, but I don't think it's worth this at all. But I mean, like he's getting away with it clearly because people are just enabling him a lot.
I mean,
like,
I know the player, right? Or everybody knows Siskin, I believe. I don't know.
I don't, but I've heard he's very diplomatic.
I mean, I played a few campaigns with him, and he's probably the best nation building guy I know. And I figure he wanted to try something new. I mean, he started as Austria, before, and he was going Tuscany and doing all the strongest military stuff route, and I think he's a little bit bored about going full ham meta build, and he wants to try something new, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. I mean, it's also like, yeah, I guess it's just really awkward. I'm not sure how he has a 060 ruler either. Like, I mean, if I remember correctly, Venetian government is that you can random between the ones, or you can choose it, I imagine. And I guess the guy playing it random, but he has 100 Republican traditions, so he wouldn't need to. I mean, like this nation looks sort of awkward with like. He has like 1,000 mil power, but he hasn't gone for a mil ID, so he has nothing to do with that. I mean, he can dev, but doesn't have the burger states, so it's like, yeah.
I mean, the nation. I mean, Sitkin wasn't actually playing in session 1, right?
Yeah.
He got subbed, or like they playing a bit of co-op. But Sitkin is gonna fix the nation if it's in a bad state right now.
I mean, it's not in a terrible state. I just feel like it has a
not
decent.
at all, but like Sitkin is a player who can like get everything to perfection.
Yeah. Mace, do you have anything to add about the wars or stuff? Or did I miss it when I was gone?
Not really.
All right. I mean, should we? Yeah. I mean, it's a decent position. I think it's missing some internal management and potential, but still in a good spot as long as Turkey remains allied. Should we jump over to the Ottomans?
Yeah, let's do Ottoman Mamluk Timmy block first before this and Europe.
And I mean, looking at Ottomans immediately, like they. I mean, we can look at the nation first. It looks pretty solid. It's not running advisors on 2 of them, which I find a little bit weird, but it still has a good income. It has eaten a lot of dev. It's started quality at Miltech 7, which I think was a little bit overkill to take against the Hungary, who already lost that war.
Mm-hmm.
But so he wasted some mil there, but not the biggest deal in the world. He's missing state usages. I think the nation as a whole is looking like. I mean, it's a really strong nation, but it's missing some internal management.
Yeah, like sort of the most annoying part about me are the non-deleted farmland forts in this nation.
Yeah, I mean, he also has like a lot of weird forts.
Yeah, it's the starting forts, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, he's keeping them all paid for in peacetime, and he hasn't even deleted the useless ones. So.
I mean, it's you can talk. Maybe you can shit talk him a lot for his. I mean, not shit talk, but like it's a very, 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 very weird Ottoman. Like,
yes.
Allying and Mamluks. I mean, he's going into Hungary. He's gonna get his Constantinople trade node complete. He's gonna get the Transylvanian state from Hungary. But after that, I don't know. Like, I'm pretty sure Mamluks wants to form Persia, and I'm not sure what Ottomans is gonna get from Timurids. Like, if Ottoman Mamluk decide to 2v1 Timmy, they can definitely do it. But yeah, like he played very much mysterious so far, and I can't actually predict what he's doing next. So,
I mean, I think, to be fair, like I think the internal nation management leaves some to be desired, but I think his diplomatic game has been really, really strong. Like normally, if I think for Mamluks versus Turks, it's in Mamluks. Mamluks are the ones incentivized to fight early.
True, yeah, you gotta give him that. Yeah, he survived the Ottoman Mamluk struggle by allying him.
And true. I mean, if you leave like it be, like even just at this point, without looking at Mamluks yet, he's likely much stronger and can just kill Mamluks whenever. Especially if Mamluks comes into conflict with Timurids over Persia formation, like it's just free land for Ottomans. So I think his initial, like his diplomatic state right now is really, really good. But it's sort of like right now he needs to consider, oh yeah, do I actually keep this alliance going with Mamluks? Because if he does, he just gets locked out from any expansion into Asia and will taper off. But if he at this point like stabs Mamluks and eats him up, it's like an amazing Ottoman opener that I think he should be really happy with.
Yeah, I mean he's achieved survival at this point, and now he needs to think about his game plan for the next 100 years.
Yeah, I mean, he also like I think he actually like went into a coalition with like 15 AIs, and Mamluks were still
a crucial point. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they formed, but they didn't declare, so it was like a free kill for Mamluks at that point. But they still just protected him from the coalition firing. So like he's done. I mean, I think I'm just going to say I think Mamluks fucked up the Diplo, and Ottomans did amazing Diplo.
Yeah.
But yeah, anything you want to add on Ottomans, Mace?
Well, they've just got to bide their time really with the Mamluks. They're always going to get stronger, especially if they eat Hungary.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really a waiting game for them, and they've set them up Diplo-wise so they can handle waiting.
Yeah. Moving on to their best friends, the Cursed Alliance with Mamluks.
Actually, I forgot. Mamluks went
Mamluks have, without
How?
fighting a player war, gone into aristocratic coup and bankruptcy.
Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, like Ottoman probably promised them Persia, right? Ottoman probably promised them 2v1 against Timmy. But Timmy is gotta be played by Mace, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Oh, he left Discord. Fuck.
Oh,
We
this
lost
is
I actually wanted to ask him what his Diplos so far doing, because like Darth, like the previous Timmy player, did a very good part on getting Nation in a good position, even though his start was bad. And Mamluks, I mean, Mamluks is such a bad managed nation. Like, sorry, but you're just not like. It's like he had a 1v1 death war against Ottoman. His nation looks like as destructive as like everything is bad about it. I mean, you can check his building, maybe he did the bankruptcy build. I don't know.
I mean, he's at admin tech 5. Doesn't have any. He can build temples.
But how?
I mean, he's built a few temples. He can bankruptcy build with temples. I don't know, man. Oh, I mean, like this Mamluks is probably like pretty much as weak as a starting Mamluks without expanding at all, despite having like another 300 dev. So, I mean, like obviously he's eaten a lot of land. He can recover. He's not like that far behind on tech and ideas. So, I mean, this Mamluks could be comp strong, but right now it's like the biggest paper tiger ever.
Yeah, especially because his conquered dev is pretty high autonomy. If you check Ethiopia, right?
Yeah, I don't like. Can I even
Yeah,
state
90.
that? No, it's at like state cap. That's
Yeah,
also
but
like.
I mean, getting it up to 90 instead of 75. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean it's like.
Even
That's-
defensive edict.
Yeah, it's a bit awkward. I mean, like the point is that even like early as Mamluks, you don't really gain that much from additional land since you're already starting at state cap. So that's also like a matter that like him blobbing up all of this territory land, it doesn't help him that much right now.
Nope.
So it's like he's mostly reserving land for later. But if like Timmy's beat him up or if Ottomans turn on him, that's not going to help him at all. So like right now he could become strong, but he's like so reliant on Ottoman helping him both get Persia formation and not simply killing him, because right now this Mamluks, it's just on death row.
Yeah.
Like anyone attacking him, like I was saying that Batua should be threatened. I mean, maybe Batua can threaten Mamluks at this rate. Not really, but you know,
like,
almost.
I mean, if you look at this economy right now, he's I mean, he is at bankruptcy and having loans. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, I guess, I mean, if your Diplo works out, Mamluks, like if Ottomans and when they stick with you, they help you kill Timurids, you get a Persia formation, and you get to expand into India for free while Ottomans do nothing. Like, if everyone keeps what I guess are the deals, then like this is going to be an amazing nation. But you are entirely reliant on people just keeping the deals with you, and they are very much not incentivized to do so.
Yeah. And I actually want to know how he managed to go bankrupt. Maybe the player can comment on
I
it.
think he mentioned that he got a nobility coup on accident, and that fucked up his Diplo, his economy. So I mean, it does make his Diplo like a bit worse, but I think it's like it still doesn't. I mean, it's just 10% inf costs. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's that one as well. Trade efficiency. I mean, he does lose a lot of money from being in a nobility coup, but it still doesn't explain him bankrupting, in my opinion.
Yeah, let's hope he fixes things.
Yeah, let's stop blaming Mamluks. I mean, Mamluks, have an interesting plan, and if it works out, you might be really strong.
Yeah, you have a lot of shit to do.
That's that's my positive take on it. Going over to Timrins, which looks really good. I think it said it had a rough start. I'm not sure, did it disconnect or something like that? I think, and his nation went brain dead, or was that elsewhere?
Yeah. He's getting save edits, right?
Yeah. Okay. So this nation is getting save edits, and it also already looks like really nice. I think it's I mean, I really like this Timis. You have expansion limits, so you can't go into Asia. So instead, it's try to reserve as much land as possible in the west, which from the maybe that's why Mamluks bankrupted. He was desperate to steal as much land as possible from Timis. I mean, either way, like he's tried to establish control of the Persia node, which is really important for the Tim economy and has every center of trade in it. So yeah, I think it's like a really strong start of Timis. His only problem is that Ottomans, Mamluks, and Venice are allied together, and does he even have like any friends? I don't think so. So it's like, who can he find to help him? Because even if I think Timis is like the strongest nation in the game right now, I mean, you could debate France, but
I mean, yeah, he's sharing a top 3 position. Like the top 3 nations are Timmy, Ottomans, and France, and altogether like really, really close.
Yeah.
So according to Skanderberg's scoring.
Yeah,
right?
I think that's fair. I think I mean, let's suppose I think Ottomans and Timis are sort of even, but Timis right now is a much better managed nation that I think would fare, like just looking at the nation, I think it's likely to fare better in a prolonged conflict. It's like doesn't have a bunch of unnecessary forts that will consume money. It's running advisors. It's like when I look at when I get the feel for the nation, I think that Timis, if given like just 5-10 years, would be significantly stronger than Ottomans. This is better managed, but yeah, right now the power is somewhat comparable. Not sure what to say beyond that. Like, hopefully not get ganked by Mams, Ottomans, Venice once the expansion into Asia opens up. Like Timurids, if they aren't dealt with by then, can just form Mughals if they want to. The government can be a bit awkward since you can't accept cultures. I think unless you get like every promise with them, but then you can just get permaclaims, then shoe up all of India, which is and likely become if you aren't already the strongest nation in the game by far. I think like Timis is like a nation that could end up rivaling France or even surpass it if it doesn't get dealt with, as it has even more free expansion than France. Beyond that, just like solid nation. It's swapping to Shia as well, which is a nice call. Do you have anything you'd like to add?
I would want to ask Mace how his Diplo is doing.
But is Mace here? Oh, Mace is here! Mace is back.
Yeah, hello. Mace is back.
Mace, do you want to tell us a little bit about your plans with Timurids, or are those top secret?
Well, I don't have too many plans. I've only had a bit of information from the last player, but I definitely want to get at least one ally. So that can help in a battle against Ottomans, Mamluks, Venice, because that's going to be very difficult to win without an ally.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure Venice is not gonna send troops against you. He's just in a diplomatic agreement with Ottomans and Mamluks that he can go to Asia. But yeah, I hope you get like as bad as it sounds. Like I hope India gets seeded by like dying players. I mean, maybe Songhai and Kasil actually want to continue playing, right? And we're not gonna get any India player. Like Angry didn't wanna get seeded into India as well. He was too salty. But maybe like a Mewar or like I would see like Delhi, Mewar, or like even Vijayanagar maybe. And they could help you actually. You could hackbox with them, but I don't know. So far, no Indian player. And I wish you good luck in a death war against Mamluks and Ottoman if it's coming.
Honestly, I think like Timis might actually be fine.
I don't know. Like if Ottoman and Mamluks push full force into it, it's
yeah,
like,
but I mean, it's like, I mean, Timis has really strong defensive fort lines, and like Mamluks are in such a bad state. I'm sure it's like almost
it's-
going to be
yeah, but-
Timurids against Ottomans with like defensive
yeah,
forts.
yeah. I was about to say it. I mean, maybe. I mean, it depends on how much effort does Ottoman put in to killing Timmy.
Yeah, I mean exactly. If like everything is even, like player skill wise, Ottomans and Mamluks win if Ottomans dedicates fully to it. But like, why does Ottoman dedicate fully to this?
Yeah.
There is
exactly,
no.
yeah.
And I mean, if you're a stronger player, Timurids, than Mamluks and Ottomans in this state, I think actually you can hold this war indefinitely. So
Yep.
I really like Timmy's, even if the diplomatic spot is a bit awkward. But yeah, let's jump. I think we'll go like back towards the west. Like we'll cover. Actually, let's do Muscovy first. Yeah. Do you want to start by sharing us some thoughts about Muscovy? Kaiser?
Yeah, I mean, I did. I don't know if my opening was. I mean, I'm doing okay on expansion. Like the bad thing about Muscovy, I never really understood is how to convert the first Muslim province to get claims on the hordes without statifying Novgorod state. Yeah, it's a fucking Tampov area. Like you need to state it to convert it, and you don't have states. Like you have one free state, I believe, and if you don't want to kill in state, which is already core. I mean, it's fine, I guess. I'm getting new states next tech, I believe, or tech 8.
Yeah, and I mean you also
Or
like
tech 8. Yeah.
you could obviously just like the state perm until you've integrated them or something.
Yeah, but but I'm losing the fucking power for it. Like, I mean, I'm not sure, like-
you lose full core for 6 then, but yeah, okay.
oh wait, no, I'm integrating perm. I say.
Yeah, I know, but you could have done it before you integrated perm.
Yeah, okay. So I mismanaged fucking mission trees, but and I actually, in hindsight, I would have went quality.
Also, you could just like remove Samara. It's like 8
Yeah, I'm probably gonna delete that. Yeah,
Anyway.
it's fine. I'm gonna do it next session.
Yeah. Anyways, keep talking. Sorry for interrupting.
Yeah, I mean, I went quantity, right? It's a bit of greedy. And actually, I can't really pay for it probably in the death war against Poland and Sweden. If Sweden and Poland wants to gank me. Hello.
Hello, I just wanted to ask someone. I have a bug in a Mameluk's game. I inherited an admiral, and it's not counting towards my leaders. He's not even listed in it.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Is that a thing?
Narias, I don't know what this is about, but we're doing a podcast right now, so
okay,
we'll
got
help
it.
you later. Thank you, man. Yeah, Kaiser, proceed.
Yeah, like if you check my economy and buildings, it's like not looking too hot. I mean, I don't know. Let's see how.
For a Muscovy like this early, I think you're looking quite well on infrastructure, in all honesty.
Yeah, I mean, I yoinked 2 states from Kiev, from Poland, right? I hope I'm not getting inted. It's a bit aggressive, I guess. But yeah, I'm doing Diplo with all of Poland's neighbors. So I really cross my fingers and hope I not get inted.
Yeah.
Yeah, continue eating up hots, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, my take on this is that like I think like Muscovy without a horde seeding is an incredibly strong country, and I think
Yep.
like either you could go try to use your early power to beat up Poland, or you could just try to like make the Western Front safe and expand eastwards, which probably in this setting I imagine you're doing, since most of victory cards are spawning I mean, not most, but a lot of the victory cards are spawning over in the east. So if you can just blob freely over there, that's like a lot of score and clay for you. But I think there are some things I sort of question with the nation. I think it's like, for example, right now you're like bleeding Diplo, which is a bit awkward. So it's like some.
Yeah.
It's a bit.
I allied Brandenburg out of. I know he was a bit desperate.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm at 6 at 5.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I'm like, why did you ally Astra? Why did you vassalize Astrakhan, for example? It's just for the reconquest, I guess. But
yeah, I mean, don't really have any admin. So I mean, Perm is getting annexed soon, and but yeah, I'm lacking a lot of Diplo. I know. I hope it gets fixed once I'm at stable Diplo relations, and
I mean, it's not a big deal to bleed some Diplo. It's just like feels like something that could have been done differently.
yeah, I could have managed my expansion a bit better. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
and then it's like, and then it's like the big thing for me regarding nation. Like, I mean, going quantity is to me really greedy as Muscovy, which I would have preferred to just go some other ID and actually be more aggressive in the west. But like, here's like you went quantity and you proceeded to sort of stab Poland, I guess. You tell me if I'm wrong, but the story I've gotten is that if Poland didn't take the PU over Lithuania, you would let him eat them anyways, which was a very generous deal from your perspective, so I understand going back on it. But if you were going to go back on it, I would not have gone quantity, as that leaves you way too vulnerable.
I mean, my Diplo with Poland, he didn't actually tell me if he's gonna take the PU or the air.
Okay.
Or the ruler. So he was just like, I asked him if we are gonna stay neutral and friendly, and he was saying yes, as long as you don't snake into Lithuania. And I was like, assuming he was going for the ruler, and I wouldn't have snaked into Lithuania if Bohemia and Hungary wouldn't have died. I now see Poland in a very strong position.
Yeah.
Like in a position, not in a position where he can get land freely, like from Bohemia and Hungary. And my take was like, if I let him all of Lithuania, Bohemia, and Hungary, he's gonna be stronger at Tech 10. I mean, he's probably gonna be stronger at Tech 10 anyways, if he gets Quali Echo against my Conti Echo.
Yeah, I mean, normally Poland has a timing with 3 ID groups, as that's when they finished the last ones. But with Hugo and Quantity, they sort of have like multiple timings before that as well, which leaves sort of vulnerable. I mean, it's also, and I like get your reasoning that you're scared of Poland, but it's also like with no Hungary.
I'm not saying I'm scared of Poland. I'm saying like Poland gets a lot of free shit.
Yeah, I mean, essentially a little bit worried about their growth, or feel like you want to hinder it, and that makes sense to me. It's also like, but not having a Hungary and Bohemia also makes Poland much more likely to actually attack you, since they don't have as many threats in the back.
I mean, he can go for it, but like, it would be like a small gain, right? I mean, killing Muscovy over AI expansion, I'm not sure if that's worth.
I mean, like, what I actually think. If you give it some time, not right now, I think Poland can 1 versus 1 you and kill you. And if I was in his position, I probably would. So
yeah,
okay.
I mean, he can try it.
I mean, I mean, it's just like my speculation. I don't know what Poland is going to do, but I feel like that was like I feel like the quantity ID group choice opened you up a little bit much, and there's a possibility that you'll get punished for it. I'm not sure you will, but I'm saying that it could be if it pays off.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. But yeah, Mike, I expected like I'm okay with Poland going for me, with overtaking quality. Like I was too. I mean, in perspective, I would have taken quality. After I did some calculations, I guess. but if I get ganked by Poland, so be it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just my take. Like, I imagine like this seeding and like the position Muscovy is still incredibly strong, and I think you'll be fine. I just like feel like it was maybe an unnecessary risk, but it's still like if you get away with this, like going quantity economic with Muscovy, just expanding freely eastward, and even showing up some of Lithuania, like Muscovy is looking in a really strong position right now, and I wouldn't be surprised if this is like another nation that will come to rival like France and Timurids if it's left alone for a while longer. I think it's like in potential wise, I think it's France, Timurids and Muscovy who are the 3 strongest nations right now, even if Muscovy right now isn't quite as strong as the other 2. So yeah, I think it's a really strong nation, even if I mean, what I would have done differently is I would have actually gone quality, and if I was going to like mess with Poland, I would probably have done so like more. I would have gone quality, and then I would have like shooed up half of Lithuania or more, just to ensure that Poland doesn't actually have the power to go after me. But
I mean, to be fair, Lithuania and is such a rough spot right now. It's devastated high autonomy, right? No, it's not high autonomy, okay. But
no, I mean there are some.
I guess it's fine. But like my take on getting the 2 states was like it was a bit a very very rude move, but not a move like saying I want to kill you, Poland.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I would probably be like, if I was playing Muscovy here, I would be like, either I'm like making sure that you're weak and I can kill you, Poland, or I'm being friendly with Poland. Like, I think this is an in-between move, which I'm personally not a huge fan of, but it may very well work out, and I don't really know how the people do Diplo here in this group yet. Like how people respond.
I don't know the Poland player actually, so it's a bit of a more risk to do it when you don't know how he will react. But I'm curious to see, and yeah.
I mean, it's not like a terrible move. It's just not what I would have done in your position. Essentially, I'm like
it's an interesting move, I guess.
I'm like fairly like I'm either like if I'm in a position of power, I like to leverage it fully, and if I'm not, I'm like don't poke the bear. But yeah. Anyways, like I guess we talked about a lot about Muscovy.
Let's get away.
Yeah, let's get away to Poland. Let's go with Mace. Do you want to talk some about Poland, your neighbor? Oh, he's gone. Okay. So Kaiser, what do you think about Poland? You had some opinions before that you mentioned that they have an easy, fairly good position right now.
Yeah, so he went. He got the ruler, right? He has good mana management from that, so he's not gonna be behind in ideas or tech or anything if he doesn't die. Like so far, he survived a long time, right? How old is he?
46.
46, yeah, it's pretty good, I guess. And yeah, like Bohemia and Hungary died like without his doing. I'm pretty sure, like he didn't get involved in the wars. So
he was involved in my war in Bohemia.
Oh, was he?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Oh yeah, he got the Silesia state, right? But yeah, his prosperity is ticking up. I'm not sure why he didn't go Orthodox.
Yeah, that's a bit odd to me as well. Him not flipping yet. Like, I mean, I think that's like either a mistake or he's like preparing to death war someone.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like the death war is would have been like if Poland would have converted to Orthodox like 15 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, he should definitely have done it already. In my,
he could have gotten back prosperity for the death war, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean,
I agree.
He's gonna have prosperity for the death war now. Like if he snacks through Lithuania, he can get the border with me, right, and then declare on me. But I mean,
yeah, him not flipping.
Right.
Oh yeah,
Right.
actually, I think I know. I have an idea of the reasoning. Maybe he
he
wants.
wants to form Prussia.
Yeah, like I mean, either it's a mistake he doesn't realize how strong Orthodox is, or he wants to form Prussia, which he needs to be Protestant for. So then he'll like flip Protestant and then Orthodox, or stay Protestant for the government. So
Yeah, but I mean, I'm fine with him forming Prussia. That means you can't end me.
I guess fair, yeah. But that's like the reason I can find for him not to. But yeah, overall, like really strong position. Bohemia is dead, Hungary is dead. Ottomans are obviously strong, but I think you can like. I mean, you obviously managed how Slovakia is a really important state, and it is. But I think like for Ottomans, it would be beneficial to just get a deal here and fight Mamluks instead, as Mamluks are much weaker than Poland and can give you much better clay. So I think it's like.
Yeah, he can basically ignore Ottomans. I'm very curious to see how he will to Hungary and Bohemia dying, especially the Slovakia state. He can take Slovakia right now, I believe.
Yeah,
if he wants to.
should be able to.
Venice has still truce, like a couple months.
Yeah, he has 3 claims on the Slovakia state as well.
Yeah,
I think that's...
if he wants, he can take it right now and get the best state from Hungary, I believe.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any threats really, except for his rude neighbor in Muscovy.
Yeah, I mean, and like this isn't an openly hostile move to cut off a part of Lithuania. It's just like, yeah, reserving some land. So I think Poland is in a really strong position. It's going to have it feels like Ottomans and Venice have their focus elsewhere, and like Muscovy has got quantity, and HRE is really weak. So I feel like Poland can do sort of what he wants. He has amazing ID set. He has a lot of room to grow. Like normally Poland has a spike on 3 IDs, but they are like 3 full ID sets for their last 2. But in this position, like he could just he'll grow at a rate where he'll be a relevant force and able to dictate the game even before that point. And once he gets to 3 IDs, yeah, I mean this is also a competitor for like the strongest nation in the game if left alone, definitely, with France, Muscovy, and Timurids. Like the like problem for him is that he's almost bordering Muscovy, which obviously is a strong neighbor, while France and Timurids sort of don't have that right now. Like Timurids are bordering Ottomans, but Ottomans will fall off if they don't do anything about that. So yeah, I think Poland is in a really good position. I mean, good on ideas and tech, which is quite expected with this ruler. But yeah, I'm interested to see what he's going to do. He's like a lot of diplomatic and expansion options open for him.
Yep.
Also,
like from PvP info, as you managed to gobble up all AIs and have like 1k dev 1500 lul. No, not 1k, but
yeah. I mean, honestly, he could probably eat almost 1k with subjects, but then he wouldn't be able to finish economic, which probably is more important.
Yeah.
So, and he would be behind in admin and stuff. But yeah, I mean, he has a lot of expansion to do. I like the fact that it took the local noble. I've been debating this back and forth, but I feel like the Lithuania PU is so terrible, and that it limits you so much with the poor government form as well for a long time. I mean, if you take the Lithuania PU and Muscovy just ins you, they can just eat. They just beat you in a war anyways, since Lithuania PU doesn't do much for you, so it's better to just leave it be and have a stronger mana generation, in my opinion.
Taking the ruler is even greater with Bohemia and Hungary dying, because
I
he can
mean,
spend his mana on something.
Yeah, I mean, as is, it turned out to be amazing for him, despite Muscovy's, like, losing 2 states of Lithuania. Like, even if Muscovy goes in and takes even more, it would still have been a good move, in my opinion. So, I think that's a good play. Mace, do you have anything you want to say about Poland? Is he gone again? No, he's here.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. They're in a strong position. Yeah. I reckon it is. They will be going in on the HRE a bit because it's so weak.
Yeah.
That would be my move, to just gobble up some more land.
Yeah, I mean, A is obviously an issue, but if the HRE members start to dismantle the HRE and kill all the AI miners, that becomes a smaller problem. So do you think he'll kill Brandenburg, or do you think he'll just like eat you?
I mean, Mace is Timmy right now.
Yeah, I need. Okay, eat your former
Okay.
nation.
Yeah, eat me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because they've got, and Bohemia's economy it's dead.
Yeah.
They basically can't make money. So that would be when the truce runs out of Bohemia, I would eat them up. Eat the rest of them up.
Yeah, especially since you have a reconquest.
Yeah. But Brandenburg, I'm not sure. They took a bit of land, but I know they lost the coalition war, so they're also probably relatively weak as well.
Yeah. Like, as Poland, you could obviously kill Brandenburg kind of easily. I guess the question is, how would Muscovy react to you doing that? How would Sweden react? How would England react? Like, it might be an unnecessary risk, I'm not sure. Or maybe it's just a free war, like, would Muscovy, Sweden, England actually want to defend Brandenburg? I don't know. Depends on the diplomatic landscape here. Should we move over to Brandenburg, as we were starting to touch on that?
Yep.
So Mace, Brandenburg was your neighbor. Do you want to tell us what happened with it?
Yeah, so we were. There was sort of a tri-alliance between Hamburg, Brandenburg, and me. And that was like that for about until like the 1450s. And Brandenburg got Pomerania, I believe.
Yeah, he did.
In a PU or a vassal.
He vassaled it, yeah.
Yeah. And then took out Saxony. So that put him in a pretty strong position there. And I'm not quite sure what happened next. So he, I think he lost the coalition war after he beat up Saxony.
Okay, but did he attack you or fight you?
Yeah, he attacked me, but pretty near the end of the session.
Okay, after the coalition war or before? I think it was before the coalition war, right?
I think it was before, yeah.
Okay, so that's... I guess he got like too greedy trying to get your gold mine. Likely, the Eger,
Yeah.
and that triggered a coalition. I mean, from what he told me, like he forgot about the age of the emperor being AI, so it demanded that he returned province, and when he declined, he got a relationship hit, and everyone he had been improving relationship with to avoid the coalition joined against him. So I mean, he probably lost, I assume, since it's a core, he lost something here, he lost the Pomerania vassal, he's in like nobility disaster, which, I mean, doesn't explain by coalition, and he has 700 in loan. I still think like Brandenburg looks sort of okay. It's fine on IDs and tech, not amazing, but okay. And it has, I mean, it's grown a bit, even if it lost the Pomerania vassal and some land. So I still think like Brandenburg is easily in a spot where it can recover, but obviously sucks to lose like land from an AI coalition that could have been avoided. Beyond that, I mean, right now he's allied to... Is he allied to Poland? No, he's not. He's allied to England and Muscovy, which, being allied to Muscovy, obviously safeguards him, some from Poland. I think he has friendly relationships with Hamburg, and with Bohemia dead, he has some space to expand. So, I mean, I think, like, unless Brandenburg gets inted and killed by Poland, I think it's still set up to a fairly good game.
Yeah, but that's a crucial point, right? If Poland really wants Brandenburg dead, he can. I mean, does the Emperor protect him right now?
It should protect him right now, and it's also like Poland would have to wait a bit, I suppose, since right now the AE from actually taking land from Brandenburg would probably put them in a vulnerable position.
Yeah, Poland should like first take Hungary, then Lithuania, and then decide what he wants to do, right? Either into Muscovy in the 1-1, or like he can definitely kill Brandenburg if he wants to, because I mean, sure, like I might help him, but what can I do without going bankrupt, right?
Yeah, I mean, you could bankrupt the war for Brandenburg. Question is, do you want to?
No.
Oh,
I
here,
I
you're,
told Brandenburg that like I'm not death warring for you. Like
yeah.
he should get diplo relations to Burgundy.
It's also like worth mentioning that Brandenburg clearly was stabbed by a lot of people. He allied me. I told him that, oh yeah, I'll ally you to prevent the coalition, but if it triggers, I'm not honoring. And then I didn't honor when it fired, and I was stabbing him. But yeah, I think it's mostly sad about Poland. He was allied to Poland, I think, to prevent the coalition, and then Poland unallied, which might have been what actually triggered it. So I guess there is some tension there between the two. So we'll see what happens. That might be like an indication that Poland doesn't really want Brandenburg to live. But yeah, we'll see what goes down. I guess we just jump over to Hamburg. Mace, what would you like to say about Hamburg? You were allied to him for a while, right?
Yeah. So Hamburg's plan was basically to try and get trade, try and get some good trade, and just support, really.
Okay.
So he was just slowly eating up Meitner's free cities.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he seems to be going for Hanover formation, which is quite nice. He only has Stade left. He has, at least for now, managed to not have England or Sweden or Brandenburg go too much into the Lübeck node. So he's set up to get some fairly strong trade power there. I mean, he's still really, really vulnerable, but he's going. I don't really agree with his choice of trade ideas first, but it might enable him to make enough money to pay off people that would like to eat him, I guess. The nation is sort of weak right now. It hasn't been able to expand that much. I think it's like I think he should probably. Oh, he's running the advisor. He's not running the established communities trade edict with the merchants, so that slowed him down a little bit. But I mean, he's done okay. I think he could have been a little bit bigger than this, maybe, but he's in a solid spot, and hopefully he manages to grab a chunk of land when HREs gets dismantled, assuming it does. It's a little bit worrisome because he's like about to be locked in by Brandenburg and Burgundy, but he could be like a relevant at least money making wise, even if he just grows a little bit bigger than this.
Yeah, he should try to form Hanover.
Yeah.
And be relevant.
Yeah, exactly. He definitely should. His estates need some work. Beyond that, I mean, it's an okay nation. Like, it's really small, but I don't think he had it feels like he could have done things maybe a little bit differently, but it's still like in a solid position. It's just kind of awkward starting at Hamburg and having like a Brandenburg, Sweden, and Burgundy around you. It's hard to grow much without treading on people's toes.
Yep.
Do you guys have anything else you want to say before we jump over to the final and the best nation in the game, clearly?
No, not really.
Okay.
Hamburg is gonna.
I'll have to go.
Okay.
Now, so.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us, Mace.
Cool. Just.
Yeah, and that means
Sweden.
Sweden. I guess I'm quite it was a really awkward start for me as Sweden because I had my state general was 1-1, I think, which meant that I lost like a bunch of manpower purging estates, and it was like I think I had like sort of help in the independence war. I had like Hamburg and Poland fighting a little bit in the south, and I had Muscovite vassals sieging.
I mean, to be fair, like from my point of view, it was a lot of help you received.
Yeah, I mean, like I think you fought one battle. That was the only battle that my allies actually fought against Denmark.
True, but I mean, Poland and Hamburg actually like tricked the AI, right? And you could siege Denmark for free with like English Navy and vessels. Like I actually like wasted 5k manpower on you, like in a crucial early game expansion point.
Yes,
And
I'm very grateful.
There are situations where Sweden doesn't get any help.
Yeah.
And presented by Muscovy. So
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like it was. Yeah, I mean, it was a decent start. I was just like hoping for better. Like considering the amount of support I had, I think I had to take like the same amount of loans as I would if I was like test running and doing it solo against AI. So that was so like the. I mean, I had a lot of help, but the outcome was sort of awkward with me, like trying to get Hamburg land for a while and like me getting a bad general and stuff like that. But I obviously had help, and it was totally fine. I took like 4 or 5 loans, and I was totally set after the independence, so I can't complain much.
I have a question. Why are you low on precision, not orthodox? Are you orthodox?
I am not orthodox.
Okay, but
I am low on prestige from tossing heirs into the garbage can, and I think, and I also did Civil War.
Yep. Okay. Yep.
And beyond
what's the building situation?
Oh, buildings is like meh. I like the economy of Sweden is always
True, yeah. It's
a bit awkward, but I've gotten like 2 temples down. I don't even have any good temples, but I'm actually at admin tech 6 now, so I can build the crucial workshops. Yeah, I mean obviously Dalaskogen and to some extent Skåne are absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, like for this state 75, I'm quite happy with the state Sweden is in. I had like, I mean, it could have been better, but I'm still pleased. Like I could have been killed by Muscovy by now. I could have had England fight me over Shelland. Instead, I managed to get England to help me take that part. So, and I have gotten part of Livonian Order. So I'm happy with how Sweden looks.
Yeah,
I've filled out quality IDs, so I'm quite good in tech and ID wise. Like the diplomatic situation is obviously like for me is obviously sort of good that there is some tension between Moscow and Poland in the immediate sense. I was like in the greater scheme of things, it might be unfortunate if like there is no strong power in the east to counteract the other powerful blocks that are forming. But in the more immediate sense, I can obviously, if I want to, act as a kingmaker between Moscow and Poland, and essentially choose who I want to support if a conflict breaks out. And that person will likely win fairly easily. So that's like it's like beats that Moscow can just eat you up at least. So it's a good diplomatic position as it is right now. Same with like England not going to Denmark and the neighbor in the HRE being Hamburg. There's not a lot of threat there, so like fairly safe, which Sweden kind of often isn't. So I'm like fairly happy with my position. I think like going forward, I mean I probably shouldn't say what I'm doing, but I'm just going to like essentially chill and eat AI most likely, and then see what happens elsewhere. See how like both the HRE and the East develops.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can sit back and wait for other people to move.
Yeah, I mean, like my economy isn't great. It's not desirable for me to fight a harsh war right now. I guess I mean, if I was supporting Muscovy against Poland or Poland against Muscovy, it would need to be like that much support for them to win. But still, I mean, at least from my perspective right now, I don't think it's in my interest to get involved into a zero player war. I'm just going to sit back, see how things develop, and go from there. What do you think? Like, I mean, since I'm obviously not sharing everything, maybe I am. What do you think Sweden should do from this position?
I mean, so far, like you got everything Sweden can hope for, right? I mean, without doing PvP.
Yeah.
You got 3 Lübeck and 3 Livonian Order.
Yep.
And if like you should not be like the one starting the PvP conflict, but like wait for someone to make the first move and then decide what you want to, like with low effort military action get for free. Like if Poland decides to attack me, you can always get an easy war on Moscow, I guess, join Poland and like siege the fort, and without going into loans or anything, and like even like I could break under that.
Yeah, exactly.
And I mean, Brandenburg. I don't know about Hamburg and Brandenburg. That's a direction to expand too, but you would need to wait a bit for the HRE to implode.
Yeah, but I mean, I have expansion options. I could go into North. Like right now, I'm allied with sort of all my expansion options. I even think like we have sort of an alliance. You just don't have the Diplo slots, so that's like worth considering. It's also like there are different pros and cons to like almost all expansion directions. The like expansion, like if one was to try to expand into Poland, that would give you control over all of the Baltic, which is really important for the Swedish economy, and also better devland. But it's also like sort of vulnerable borders. Muscovy is probably like the safest borders, but it might be the hardest war if one was to go for it, and like also like maybe least lucrative land, which like a bunch of forests and woods, and also like wild HRE. It's probably like the easiest, safest expansion wise, but you might run into other people and who want to land, and you also have to struggle with the AE, at least right now. Obviously, I'm trying to say this from an objective standpoint. I'm not going to reveal what I'm doing, and I'm not really planning to kill my friends right now.
No. But yeah, Sweden always waits for someone to die and then swoops in, right? Because he actually has a very big border, like from Moscow towards North Germany.
Yeah,
it's a lot of potential to snake into.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I like my position. I think there are opportunities. I don't think anything like is obvious. I mean, I don't even know it myself exactly what I want to do. So yeah. Anything? Oh yeah, I would like to. At least lastly, I would like to discuss some about the victory cards and the setup for the game. So to explain for everyone, I guess most people who listen know, but you'll get points based on how your army strength is your overall strength is in Skanderberg, and then you'll get additional points for the victory cards that you hold every session, and at the end they move to borders with your sort of like strongest rival, like most comparable rivals, I think, to facilitate conflict between them. Would you like to tell us more about the motivation behind it? It sort of resembles the standard PDX score system, but with some modifications to, I think, attempt to make it more accurate. Or
yeah, I mean, I played a lot of campaigns where you only took the blank overall strength points, and not even giving points per session, but like the nation with the most Skanderberg score at the end of the campaign wins. That's like a very lame and low effort way to score a nation, I believe. So I thought of a few ways which might I don't know, evaluate a country's growth and nation building a bit more, and also I really liked the idea of victory cards always. Like when I first played multiplayers, we used like the in-game mechanical victory cards, but these are really bad, right? I thought of a way to get victory cards going, but not making them so
static.
Static and easier to trade around, because like if they are static, they can easily be traded for between allies. Now they get moved towards your strongest or like your most interesting competitor. But yeah, like people already said early on in the game, it doesn't really matter, the movement, because everybody's gonna ignore them. For example, Ottoman Mamluks won't break up about, even though Iraq has like 3 victory cards.
Yeah, but that's like, I mean, in all honesty, that's on the players. You can't really, like, you can only make incentives for players to go against each other. You can't force them. And like, I know in a lot of groups where victory cards like can make people act on each other and fight over them. So It's
Yeah,
like,
true. Like it's not a system to break up metagaming, right? It's still first priority for the players to get their nation stronger, and killing your friends or like allies over like 2 points is not the way to go, obviously.
yeah.
But I mean, it's a interesting thing to see because like Ottoman is way stronger than Mamluks right now, right? And
Yeah.
he will be in the next 2 or 3 sessions too. But Mamluks is getting more points than Ottoman. Like Ottoman has 18 points, right? And Mamluks has. Oh no, he doesn't have. Sorry, Mamluks has 14 points and Ottoman 18.
Yeah, because Mamluks, I assume, don't have any strength right now because they're in bankrupt
Yep.
and the aristocrat
I mean,
crew.
yeah, they have some strengths, right? But we also have the advantage thingy going on. I wanted to try that also. Like, for example, if the top 3 are like skyrocketing in the campaign, and like the average like are way above average, they're getting extra points for it. And if you have a more stable campaign where everyone is sort of same strength, you don't get any bonus points for it. But Ottoman's is top 3, so he's getting a lot of extra points from his actual Skanderbeg score.
Okay, how come you use the advantage thing as you like the sort of
Yeah,
I mean furthering like it's rewarding power twice, so to speak, to some extent.
Yeah, like I wanted to like there are players or like nations who are doing a really good job at nation building and are really powerful, and I wanted to give them credit for it over like nations who like just are irrelevant. Like nations like, I don't know, a nation who could be always like below top 5 is like, for example, a poorly managed paper state. Just for an example, like paper state can exist for the next 10 sessions, right?
Yeah.
But he maybe only like have like, I don't know, 20% of the Skanderbeg were from France or Timmy, and it wouldn't be fair if Pope would get like 3 points, and France gets 6 points for Skanderbeg scoring, but he would be like, I don't know, 5 times stronger than Pope.
Okay, so you essentially you want to make sure that the nation is rewarded for its strength, essentially.
Yeah, basically, if players put in a great effort at nation building, they are getting rewarded for it, and also the campaign. I mean, it will get even a bit more towards the end, because all the surviving players will have somewhat of a strength, and the campaign also has a hopefully a motivation to kill off or like to get the nations to the top 3, or like comparable to the strongest players, and yeah.
I would just like to preface this saying that I think this scoring system is really cool and I quite like it, but I still have like a few questions or potential issues to bring up with you. First of all, like Yarvin, the creator of Skanderbeg himself, agrees with me that the currently manpower recovery is calculated incorrectly in Skanderbeg, which makes the Skanderbeg nation strength actually incorrect to some extent. How do you feel like that impacts the scoring system?
I don't actually know how much, like how big of a deal it is. Like I know Jarvan wants to have a correct replication of Skanderbeg into in-game, right? But I don't know, like how bad is it? Like, is it completely off, or like?
I mean, in like the campaigns I've been, it's been a huge variance, but for some nations, like especially I think nations with like high recovery bonuses, like for example Russia has gotten scores that are way above what they are supposed to be getting. But I mean, it's been varying, like from campaign. In like the average campaign, I wouldn't say that the amount is off by too much, but I've seen cases where it's off significantly.
So you're saying like if someone has like 3 million manpower, he's getting insane amount of points for it?
He's getting. I mean, it varies. Like the calculation, it's not like always increased, so to speak. It's like the fact that the Skanderberg calculation is done on a state level, on like a nation level. But in reality, I think most of the manpower modifiers are applied on a province level, which means that the actual result becomes a little bit different. But yeah, typically it's like nations that have high manpower recovery and stuff like that get scored higher than they should, essentially.
Yeah, I mean,
But it can also be like in the other way around, that you get lower score than you should.
I mean, if I don't know if people can complain about it in this campaign, we might I might need to talk to Jarvin and ask him how I should even out the score, like for like a quick response thingy. But I mean, it's the first time.
Yeah, I mean, like there are multiple campaigns using Skanderberg overall strength, and it gives like an approximate feel, and you in additional have victory cards that also matters. I don't think it's going to make the campaign unfair or like make it not work. It's just there is some variance, and you always like you have that with. For example, like the in-game scoring obviously doesn't give an accurate estimation at all about nation strength, so Skanderberg is still better than that. So, I mean, I'm not saying that it'll be a huge issue, I just wanted to get your thoughts on it, considering that this is your system. Another one, like potential issue I could see with this, is that it could be sort of confusing for some players to keep track of, like the moving victory cards if they move every turn, like every week, to new spots.
I mean, if people can't keep track on the victory cards, they are not trying to win.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
That's my take on it. Like, if for example, Texas is doing his AFK shit and doesn't know where the fucking victory cards are, then yeah, I mean, he doesn't know, has to know where the victory cards are. But if Mamluks, I mean, if people want to win, they need to look at the score they can get, and it's like, I mean, I'm gonna post like a picture from victory cards every session, so I mean, true, like they get moved every week, and it might be confusing, and yeah, you don't actually know where the victory cards when you don't look it up. But I mean, it's like 5 minutes, 5-minute look at the document or the picture, and you know what's up. So
yeah, fair enough. I mean, I just want to get your thoughts on it. Is there anything else you'd like to say about the campaign or the victory card system or so before we end the podcast?
Not really. I mean, I hope the player who are gonna die choose to get relocated, because an empty Asia is, I mean, it's doable, but it's also a bit boring.
It's very fun for Muscovy and Timurids and not many other people.
Yeah, I mean, I had a chat with the Venice player. We are trying to race to Asia, see who gets there first.
I mean,
but
that's like sort of oh yeah, I guess that's like relevant to ask. Like, you're going to like boost the nations a bit when someone gets seeded into Asia. Like, by what amount? Is it just like getting the IDs and tech up to the nearest player neighbor, or?
Yeah, I'm not changing any borders. I'm just basically the player can choose all current like the current status he can change to his will, like all government reforms, all ideas which are taken. He can get loans away, he can get manpower, but nothing diplomatic wise will get changed. Like no borders, no truces, no alliances will get changed.
Okay, will the player get, like, if the nation is behind on IDs and tech, will it get increased, or?
Like, if he's massively behind, he will get it raised towards a reasonable amount towards his first player. Like, if, for example, Meva gets placed, or Delhi, or Armanis or VJ, they get raised to Timmy probably.
Okay, yeah, I mean that sounds really reasonable. So, and like also makes it fairly attractive to reseed, even if like Tim Reed's obviously a huge threat to India right now. I think you have 30 years protection as well, right? So
Yep.
I feel like that's enough to make them a competitive power for sure. Yeah, I mean with that I guess we end it. Thank you guys for listening, and good luck next session.
Good luck.